Good evening and welcome. My name is Caroline McMillan and I'm the Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Vice President for Research and Innovation at the University of South Australia. And I'm also a member of the Premier's Climate Change Council. So it's my very real pleasure to welcome you here tonight on a very crisp winter's Adelaide evening for a night of discussion, reflection, debate and a focus on a key and emerging world topic. Now, look, before we proceed, I should ask if you could just make sure your mobile phones are switched off or on silent mode. That would be tremendous. Very importantly, I would like to acknowledge that we are in Kaurna land and, of course, pay tribute to the Kaurna people, the traditional owners of the land that we meet on. And I'd also like to acknowledge some of the special guests that we have here with us tonight. We have the Honourable Dr. Basil Hetzel, who is the Hawke Centre patron, and Mrs. Anne Hetzel. We have Ms. Heen B. Wee, who is President of the National Council of Women of Australia, and we have Professor Andrew Parfitt, who is Pro-Vice-Chancellor from the Division of Information Technology, Engineering and the Environment at UniSA. And of course, we have our distinguished speakers who I'll be introducing to you shortly. Now, the One Just World Forum series is co-presented by World Vision Australia, the International Women's Development Agency and AusAid. And it's supported in Adelaide by the Bob Hawke Prime Ministerial Centre at the University of South Australia. Now, this forum series probes important matters for the health, the well-being of our region and beyond, including poverty and human rights, gender equality issues, HIV/AIDS, and tonight, carbon trading. Both the Hawke Centre and the University have a very strong commitment to open debate and discussion within the community, especially where that discussion may help us to shed light on matters impacting us not only locally and in our region, but globally. Now, as the Deputy Vice-Chancellor with responsibility for research at the University of South Australia, I'm really, of course, very proud that we as a university have leading research contributing to new knowledge on a range of carbon-neutral energy solutions. But tonight I am here, and I think as you are here, to listen, to learn, and to understand how we might better, as a community, contribute to the key issues that will be highlighted. It's quite clear as a community that we are beginning to understand the potential impact of climate change, and in particular, how climate change may wreak havoc on isolated and developing communities, particularly the remote, the coastal, the island states, and those communities which have little wealth to respond to that havoc. I think what many of us are less certain about is how the response of many industrialised nations to climate change, including the introduction of emission trading schemes or the carbon pollution reduction schemes, will impact both in our developed world and in the vulnerable developing world. Will putting a price on carbon and establishing world carbon markets be simply another form of carbon colonialism? Or will it result in a much more level economic playing field for both rich and poor nations? Well, tonight provides us with an opportunity to hear the perspective on these and a range of issues from the grassroots, from business, from research, and from government aid and development leaders. We're going to have a great opportunity to hear each speaker, and then after all of the speakers have presented, I'll invite questions from the floor, and many of you may want to consider the burning question that you would like to put on this wonderful opportunity to each of our experts. So without more ado, I'm going to move to introduce Murray Proctor. Now, Murray holds degrees in psychology and economics from the University of Queensland and from the Australian National University. He was previously Deputy Director General of AusAid's Asia Division, and before that managed the AusAid Office of Review and Evaluation and Australia's aid program to Papua New Guinea. He's worked with the World Bank on East Timor reconstruction and on public sector reform. He holds two roles currently. Firstly, as Deputy Director General of the Program Enabling Division at AusAid. And this, of course, is the division which provides advice to the AusAid program areas on sectors such as the environment, education, health and infrastructure. But in his second role, Murray commenced his duties as the Australian Ambassador HIV/AIDS in December 2007. And the role of this ambassador is to encourage political, business and community leaders in the Asian Pacific region to provide the direction and support needed to halt the spread of HIV/AIDS and reduce the suffering it causes. So it's with 25 years and more of experience in aid and development that we can now look forward to hearing Murray's perspective on carbon trading and its impact on the developing world. Thank you.